You guys, we seriously need to talk about the Bachelor franchise because it's just not what it used to be. People aren't talking about it the way they're buzzing about this season of Love Island. And lately, things got even messier when host Jesse Palmer made some remarks about the upcoming season of Paradise. And former Bachelor contestants were not having it. We're diving into what's making fans so uncomfortable and whether this franchise can actually bounce back. I've had a love-hate relationship with The Bachelor over the years, but lately, like many others, I felt it slipping downhill, losing its magic and losing its audience. Honestly, before social media exploded, people really seemed to find love on the show. I mean, Jade and Tanner, Sean Lowe and Catherine. I adore those couples, but nowadays, it feels different. The excitement faded, probably because so many people started joining the show with motives that weren't about love. Plus, let's not forget the chaos, like when Chris Harrison left and all the drama that followed. If you remember, Chris Harrison exited the franchise in 2021 after a massive backlash over his comments defending contestant Rachel Kirkconnell's past racist actions during an interview with Rachel Lindsay. His words sparked outrage, leading to a temporary break and eventually his permanent exit after nearly 2 decades as the face of the show. Rachel Kirkconnell had been on Matt James' season, who, by the way, was the franchise's first black bachelor, and had never even been on the show before. Originally, Matt was cast for Claire Crawley's season of The Bachelorette, but they bumped him up to lead The Bachelor because the franchise was under fire for its serious lack of diversity. After Harrison stepped down, Tayshia Adams and Caitlin Bristow briefly co-hosted until Jesse Palmer took over, hosting The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise, and The Golden Bachelor. The Bachelor used to be a massive part of pop culture. Watch parties, fantasy leagues, obsessive deep dives into contestants' lives. People ate it up, but lately, the vibe is gone. Recently, when ABC announced the shows they're renewing for 2026, The Bachelor wasn't even on the list. People actually thought it was getting canceled, and honestly, no one seemed mad or even surprised. Turns out it was just a delay. The show is coming back, but for a moment there, people were like, okay, crazy, right? A few years ago, nobody would have reacted like that about The Bachelor. So what happened? A lot of fans think it comes down to one simple thing. People aren't joining for the right reasons anymore. But there's more to it. It feels like the producers are trying way too hard to make the show relevant again, and it's just not landing. They tried to shake things up with The Golden Bachelor, hoping older contestants would bring genuine love stories, but not really. And now, fans are straight up weirded out by the upcoming Bachelor in Paradise season because the gimmicks feel forced. Even former contestants are speaking out, saying the whole thing feels icky. Here's what went down. Producers decided to mix the Bachelor cast with the Golden Bachelor cast, all in Paradise. So, 20-somethings and 60-somethings, all mingling on the beach together. Posted on Instagram, Jesse Palmer hopes for age gap relationships on Bachelor in Paradise. They shared this quote from him. Hopefully, yes, the golden contestants date the younger contestants. This happens all the time in the real world. Look at Bill Belichick right now. It's happening right in front of us. I don't know if it will, but I think it'll be cool to have the Goldens around. The thing I love about The Golden Bachelor is they've lived so much life. Their advice, their conversations, the stakes are just bigger. I think that'll be good for them to impart on these young kids. And former contestants shot back, basically saying, maybe let's not encourage 50-year age gaps. Jade Roper straight up commented, "You." When someone asked her why, she replied, "I was on this show. It would have made me super uncomfortable having 6 old men hitting on me for a month on a beach. Is that good enough for you?" But it didn't stop there. People also got weirded out when Mel Owens was announced as the next Golden Bachelor. He's 66, but in a recent interview, he pretty much said he didn't want women over 60. Here's what he said when asked about his preferences. "It's blind until they get out of the limo. But they asked me, what's your preference? So I said 45 to 60. Just being honest." Owens, a former NFL vet turned lawyer, said in a June 4th interview on In the Trenches podcast that he even told the executive producer, "If they're 60 or over, I'm cutting them." And the producer was like, "Oh, Mel, you can't. This isn't the Silver Bachelor, it's the Golden Bachelor." His response? "They're gonna be hot, don't worry about it." Then he went on about how he wanted women who were fit, worked out, had no artificial hips, and no wigs. Owens said, "I know there are amazing women out there. They gotta be lifetime learners, enjoy life, love to work out, stay fit, eat, have fun, be energetic, and live life." And yeah, fans were not impressed. When people think the Golden Bachelor, they expect wholesome, heartwarming stories, maybe people finding love after loss. So hearing a guy basically say, "I want a younger woman with No fake hips or wigs? Yeah, not exactly the vibe. And beyond that, fans feel like the franchise is just doing way too much. You've got The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, Paradise, The Golden Bachelor, The Golden Bachelorette. It's a lot. At one point, they were airing The Bachelorette in January, then Paradise, and then The Bachelor by year's end. It felt overwhelming. Instead of letting the franchise breathe and focus on good storytelling, it seems like producers just kept throwing random ideas out there, hoping something would stick or go viral. Storylines felt rushed. The connections didn't feel real. Couples would break up right after the finale, or even before the season ended, making the whole thing super awkward. Meanwhile, fans are comparing it to shows like Love Island and wondering what The Bachelor is missing, because people do still love reality TV. And sure, contestants on Love Island or Temptation Island may also be chasing fame, but those shows still manage to pull people in. So what gives? Some say it's because Love Island is in real time and fans get to vote and actually feel involved. Maybe The Bachelor should let us pick the next lead or help narrow down the contestants, because right now people Google the cast and discover shady pasts and wonder why they were even chosen. Letting the audience have a say could really help. It feels like a smart step forward. When Love Island premiered this season, the comparisons started pouring in. I love the diversity on Love Island. The Bachelor is too conservative, too edited. They haven't updated the format in decades. It's kind of sad. The Bachelor Bachelorette was huge from 2015 to 2020. Even non-fans knew what was going on. Now, it feels like Gabby was the last lead people actually cared about. Spoilers, repetitive storylines, lack of diversity, it all killed the vibe, especially when fresh shows like Love Island and Love is Blind stepped up. Love Island feels raunchy and chaotic in the best way. The Bachelor feels overly polished, forced, and cringy. At this point, a lot of people think the dating 20 people at once concept just doesn't work anymore. So maybe they need to tweak things.
Bachelor franchise is cooked. You're done. Game over. Watching Love Island, you get real music, right? You're listening to Sabrina Carpenter. You hear Megan Thee Stallion. You have Megan Thee Stallion on the show. I watch The Bachelor. You have these F-list country stars coming on, and you're making the girls be like, oh my god. But on Love Island, you have genuine excitement with like an A-list star with Meg Thee Stallion. Also, with The Bachelor, it's so easy to just act. You're watching people and you're like, do I like her? Do I not? Whatever. On Love Island, you're watching them 24/7. Like, this is my type of show. People are being real, and if they end up in a relationship at the end, it's like great, but if not, it's just fun. So that's just kind of it. It's just kind of it. Bachelor USA, you're kind of done. You're cooked. The Bachelor franchise is cooked. You're done. Game over. Watching Love Island, you get real music, right? You're listening to Sabrina Carpenter. You hear Megan Thee Stallion. You have Megan Thee Stallion on the show. I watch The Bachelor. You have these F-list country stars coming on, and you're making the girls be like, oh my god. But on Love Island, you have genuine excitement with like an A-list star with Meg Thee Stallion. Also, with The Bachelor, it's so easy to just act. You're watching people and you're like, do I like her? Do I not? Whatever. On Love Island, you're watching them 24/7. Like, this is my type of show. People are being real, and if they end up in a relationship at the end, it's like great, but if not, it's just fun. So that's just kind of it. It's just kind of it. Bachelor USA, you're kind of done. You're cooked.
Or maybe focus solely on Paradise. And please, no more mixing golden contestants with younger cast. What do you think? How could The Bachelor save itself and win fans back? If you've been watching or think it doesn't need to change, sound off in the comments. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.